I understand I have to talk in English. My English is very bad, so please excuse me. And whatever I won't be able to say in English, I say in Hebrew. What I won't be able to say in Hebrew, I say with my hands. Hands, everybody understands. So, friends, I have limited time because the plane is leaving. We have to leave here at 9:30 maximum because the plane is leaving at 12 o'clock at night. So, friends, I want to tell you very shortly a very important thing. A year ago, or something like that, I was in Deal, and Reb Ele Shvei Shlita was there also. It was on Shabbos, and we had to talk on Motzei Shabbos before a huge crowd there. And we're sitting there on the porch, and asked Reb Ele Shvei is like a Rav Shach for the Ashkenazim in America. Mamish, the head of all Oilem Yeshivas. And I asked Rav Shvei, excuse me, what do you think I should talk tonight? He said, what do you mean talk? Say the Mashiach is very near. I was a little bit astonished. I said, I stopped for a minute and said, Slicha, Rosh Yeshiva, what is the raya? What is the proof? So what do you mean what's the proof? We have a Kabbalah from the Gaon Mivilna, through Chofetz Chaim, through Belchonon Wasserman, Hashem Yikom Damo, that there is 70 words in La Menatzeach Mizmor David, Yancha Hashem B'Yom Tzara. 70 words. Every word is 1 year. Every year, every word is Keneged Anacha, the sigh that a woman gives in her birth. This is Ma'amar Chazal, 70 cries that a woman gives when she gives birth. And these 70 cries are 70 years of Chevlei Mashiach. The born of Chevlei Mashiach, the labor of Mashiach coming 70 years. And it began, these are the words of Reb Ele Shvei Shlita. It began in the beginning of Second World War, which is 39, September 1739, which means we are today in 2/8, we have maximum a year. This is according to the Kabbalah of the Goen through the Chofetz Chaim, Rabbi Cholim Wasserman. I heard it from Reb Ele Shvei, said it so convincingly, so simply, as if he said, Halacha pshuta brua, no question about it. 1, 2 months ago, me and my friend Reb Nosson Chefetz, who is here, we were at Chaim Kanievsky Shlita. Chaim Kanievsky, and we came to ask a broche for a family in America that has 7 daughters which didn't marry. 7 daughters. We came to ask a broche. So Chaim Kanievsky said, let the daughters come to Israel and they'll all get a shidduch. And then he stopped for a few seconds and said, let all the family come because we are very near to Mashiach. These were the words of Chaim Kanievsky. Why do I tell you these things? After I heard these things, I know that my feelings and the feelings of many, many, many people in Israel are, this is what we feel. Everything is closing from all sides. It is a terrible situation, from the inside, from the outside, and you see Mamesh, a process of birth. The forces around us are so strong, like in labor, and the being born out, the souls of Am Yisrael, being born out of this terrible situation is Mamesh. You see the birth of a nation. We are a nation for 3,400 years, but we were buried. We were buried for 200 years in all the klipot, from all what it is a part. It is a long story. It's written in the Zohar, it's in the Tikkunei Zohar. These klipot closed on us, and the birth is now to see such a crowd here in America. This is Oiro Shel Mashiach, Mamash Oiro Shel Mashiach, no question about it. Who would imagine such a thing, such a congregation, such a big, huge crowd? Unbelievable. In Israel is the same with both sides. There are powers against the Geula. Media, leftists, people who fight, mamash me'arsayich u'machivayich v'chetzeu. And we feel this tearing up. בירור. איך אומרים בירור באנגלית? הבירור, ממש, you see one side and the other side, And people are yearning. The speaker said that we have 10,000 of children enrolled from secular schools to Torah schools. I want to read to you this mizmor of 70 words of this labor of the Mashiach, and we'll see just what's written in this mizmor, because this is how we will be saved. למנצח מזמור לדוד. יענך השם ביום צרה. In a day of trouble, in a day of agony, the Kodesh Baruch Hu will answer you. יסגבך השם אלוקי יעקב. אלוקי יעקב will give you power. סגב, to give you power. משגב. יזכור כל מנחותיך. והולדך ידשנה סלע. He will remember all your korbones, all your minches, all what you did for Klal Yisrael. The Kodesh Baruch Hu will remember in this day of agony. V'oladcha yidashne sela, not only that. And the oilo, the korban that we gave to the Kodesh Baruch Hu, many times it has all kinds of negias, meaning my own interests. I want to be rich. I want to be that. I need things. Maybe it's not according to Torah 100%. The Kodesh Baruch Hu will clean up our sacrifices. V'oladcha yidashne sela. He will sort out. He'll take only the good from your korbanos. ייתן לך חלבביך וכל עצתך ימלא. He'll give you as your heart wishes, and everything you wanted, He will fulfill. נראה נראה בישועתך ובשם אלוקינו נדגול. We will be happy. We'll sing with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. And in the name of His saving, we will nidgol, like it will be like a flag around a man. He'll fulfill up all your wishes. עתה ידעתי, now I know, said דוד המלך, כי הושיע השם משיחו, יענהו משמו קודשו לקודש ברוך הוא, save the Mashiach, and He will answer him from the holy place where He sits בשמיים, בגבורות ישמנו. It was the strength of His right hand. אלה ברכב ואלה בסוסים, ואנחנו בשם השם אלוקינו נזכיר. They will come against us with all the physical powers. We will be saved in the name of the Kodesh Baruch Hu. This is the point I wanted to emphasize. הם הקראו ונפלו, אנחנו coming to that. They will fall, will stand up, and will have courage. השם הושיע המלך יענם ביום קוראינו. When a nation is attacked by enemies, it is attacked from all the sides. So his instincts are to fight against the enemy that attacks him. He turns against the enemy. If the enemy comes from the north, he'll turn to the north. If the enemy comes from the south, chas v'chalila, he'll turn to the south. Wherever the enemy comes. But this mizmor says a different thing. He says, ישלח עזרך מקודש ומציון יסעדך. Your help will not come from you have to prepare, of course, you have to prepare everything, but your help will come from the center, not from your being prepared against the south, against the north, against the east, against the west. No, your help will come from the center. ישלח עזרך מקודש ומציון יסעדך, from the holy place, from the center of the world, Mitzion. Friends, I tell you things that I heard from our rabbis. I learned it for the 32 years that I am under the Kanfei Ashchine. This is one of the main points that our rabbis taught us by Tshuva. The change of point of view, to understand that to turn your back to the outside and to turn to the center, to the holiness, to Zion. This is our saving. Every Jew in the world, the more you'll be connected with the Kedusha, the central point of Am Yisrael, this will be our saving. I come to you for a very, very tortured country. It is the corruption from the inside, the dangers from the outside. People are feeling they don't know where to turn. This is such an opportunity Such an opportunity. I'm a volunteer. I have to tell you this, I don't want to brag, לא להיות בעל גאווה, but I have to tell you this. I don't get one penny for what I'm doing. I'm doing this work with Lev Lachim for more than 10 years. And I'm running around the country. Everywhere you come, you see this miracle. You see youth in Beersheba. I was in Beersheba 2-3 weeks ago. I gave 3 lectures. The third one was 11:30 at night. I came to a synagogue. There were 50 youth of 16, 17 years old, secular, with earrings, with all the kinds, the way that they look. And they were sitting there 11:30 at night, hearing a shiur in Orach Chaim HaKodosh al Parshe. 16, 17 years old, like this. I came from behind. They didn't see me. So I stood there, and I looked at them. I didn't believe my eyes. This is Oiro Shel Mashiach. It is, this is it. We need to help each other. I said I represent here an organization which is called Lev Lachim. It is today the greatest apparatus that exists in the world for saving Jews. I'll give you one point. When I was about Tshuva, my wife didn't want to hear about it. I cannot tell all the details, but I met a Jew, a man, a Rabbi, Talmid Chochem, that said to me a sentence that changed my life. He said, I can prove to you there is a benchmark to the world that gave to you. You have to know I was in the leftist movement. I was in Shomer HaTzair. I didn't know anything, nothing at all. To understand this disaster, when I said before that it's an awakening, a birth of after 200 years of darkness, I know what I'm talking about. I didn't know, you asked me, who is Rambam? It's a small street between Shuk HaKarmel ואלנבי. זה מה שידעתי. What is Rambam? Who is Rambam? What is the difference between Gemara and Mishnah? Nothing at all, nothing at all. They taught us Marx and Engels, Hashem Yerachem Yoshev again. And the darkness, and then this man said to me, I can prove to you. There's a bunch to the world, he gave Torah. And I looked at him and I said to him, with my chutzpah, excuse me, do you understand the word proof? I asked Talmid Chochem that learns 50 years Gemara if he knows what the word proof means. And he looks at me with his bright eyes and says, I think I know what it means. And you're going to prove it to me? He said, try me. And I called him the next day. This was a miracle. Why did I call him? Why did I call him? There were a few friends with me. They didn't call. You know why they didn't call? Why didn't they call? No, why? I called. Why? They were afraid. Yes, because they were clever. Because they knew he's talking business. And I, Baruch Hashem, was stupid. I called. So sometimes it's very clever to be stupid. I called. I was sure that I'm going to knock him out. I mean, what do you mean proof? For me, faith was a thing of you either believe or don't believe. This is emunah. But to prove faith, I called. I went to him. After 5 minutes, I knew this man is talking business. It was unbelievable. I never thought about it before. I didn't give up so quickly. I came again and again and again. Anyhow, at last, after 3 or 4 meetings of hours and hours, I went out of his house. He lived in Shari Chesed, which is a place in an old neighborhood. This man, Zecher Tzadik Yivarach, Zilberman, has 18 children, 9 boys and 9 girls. One of his girls, I don't know if you remember the name, is Rachel Weiss, Hashem Yikom Dama. There was a woman with 3 children that went from Tiberias to Jerusalem, and in Hebron they threw in a bomb, a burning, Bakbuk Molotov, and she was burned with her 3 children. She didn't want to leave the bus. And if you would hear the hesped of this father, you know what a Jew, what does it mean to be a Jew? You heard in his words the Inquisitions, the Holocaust, you have everything in his words. And the emunah shleime b'kodesh Baruch Hu. Hashem natan v'Hashem lakach, Yishem Hashem evorach. It was, I will never forget it in my life. This was the man. When I sat there and I went out of his house, and I said to myself, אתה יכול לעמוד לעשות שמיניות באוויר. This is the truth. There's punishment to the world. What can you do? And I went home. And I said, we have to keep Shabbos. My wife, she became so anti. Not because she's bad. Because for 10 years, I didn't know how to live. I didn't know what it means, house, husband, what love means, what to be a father means. We lived in a Meshugana world. Hashem Yerachem. And she was so against that we had almost, we had to divorce. But in the meanwhile, what I'm telling now is the story of Lev Lachim. Then there was not still Lev Lachim. Meanwhile, my children saw me davening. I didn't daven at the shul. I davened at home. I put tefillin, krishme, tefillah at home. And then my oldest son was 10 years old, said to me, Abba, אני רוצה ללמוד תורה. I want to learn Torah also. I threw a look at my wife. She didn't say a word. She said, Shtabach Shmona Alamim. I took the child. I put him in the car. I brought him to the only Talmud Torah in Tel Aviv, Beis Yankev, Mul Gan Meir. And they began to teach him. This child saved our lives. He came home after a week, a different child. 2 weeks, it was a different child. He talked differently. He was sitting in the kitchen at a huge house, looking over the whole Mediterranean in Jaffa. It was a huge house. And we had a big kitchen, and I went into the kitchen, and he stood up. He was making his homework there. And I didn't connect my coming in as he's standing up. I didn't understand. And I went out, and I came again, and he stands up again, and again he said, Ephraim, מה קרה? אמר לו בסדר בספסל, מה... He says to me, Abba, אני קם לכבודך. I'm standing up in your honor. It was the shock of my life. The first time in my life. My son stands before Omed Lefanai. It obliged me. I had to fulfill the expectation. I had to fulfill this man that he stood before. I had to begin to learn. My wife saw all this. I remember another incident. The daughter, his sister, came home and talking about a friend. Nomi עשתה לי ככה וככה וככה. And then Ephraim says to her, Achinoam, זה לשון הרע. So the mother says to him, yeah, but she's not lying, she's saying the truth. He said, Ima, כן, לשון הרע זה גם אמת. Also you say the truth is לשון הרע. And my wife stood. He changed her mind. She saw what happened to this child. And she said to me, okay, the only thing I asked them to keep just Taras HaMishpoche, because this was the main point. Said, I'll do this for you. And this saved our lives, because we would divorce and the whole house would go apart. And from then on she began slowly, הלוואי היום עליי הדרגה שהגיעה אליה. She's ממש צדיקס. But she did it, the beginning was this son, Ephraim. It happens in thousands and thousands of houses. We take children, we put them in Torah schools, but we do not change anything. The parents are very afraid. Are you going to make us religious? Haredi will be shvart. You won't be shvart, you won't be Haredi. Keep your television, we'll do whatever you like. Just give your son the possibility, the opportunity to learn a little bit. מה זה קריאת שמע, מה זה תפילה. And then the son comes home, and the daughter comes home. She's 6 years old. I have another story I have to tell, I don't know if I have time. And the son puts his hands and says, Shema Israel. And the mother begins to cry. A very short story. Yes, it's this story that I'm going to tell you, I don't remember it. I broadcast on the radio. On secular radio. And a woman called me in the middle of the show. And she says, can I tell you a short story? She says, yes. She said, we were in Yokneam. Yokneam in the middle of the country. My husband was a photographer. We were bohemians. Didn't keep anything at all. From time to time, Motzi Shabbos, we'd go to the grandfather to say Shavua Tov. One time he came with the daughter. She was 4 years old. And he made Havdalah. And she saw that, says, grandfather, what is this? What is this? What are you saying here? The grandfather turns to his son, the father of this child, and says, you never took it to shul. You never made Kiddush. This child, here's the word shul. She says, Abba, קח אותי לבית כנסת. Abba, אני רוצה לבית כנסת. The father didn't know what to do. His grandfather sits there, he says, בסדר, לא, אבא, תיקח לי. So it came out of his mouth, says, תפסיקי למצוץ אצבע, אני אקח אותה בית כנסת. Stop sucking your thumb, I'll take you to בית כנסת. This is what he said. This child didn't suck his thumb this night, all night. She almost couldn't fall asleep. Next night, she couldn't fall asleep. She didn't suck her thumb. Her mother took her on the head. She put something, she said, no, Ima, no, אני רוצה שאבא ייקח אותי בית כנסת. Third night, the third day, the kindergarten teacher calls their mother and says, what happened to the child? She falls asleep, she cries, she's nervous. The mother was ashamed to say, a whole week, this child of 4 years old didn't suck a thumb. So the father, and on Friday night, the mother said to her husband, you better take her because otherwise you have to do with me, not with her. He took her to shul, he began to cry, and the mother lit candles, and this girl of 4 years old, now this family makes Bali Chuvas. They enlist people to seminars, they have lessons at the home in Yoknam. When this mother talks, I'm excited about, when this mother talks, she says, it was a few years later, it was 5 or 6 years later, the girl was already 10 years old. And mother says to me, she's coming home now. She came from school. You want to talk to her? Says, yes, of course. She comes on the phone, very shy. I said, Shalom, Slicha, you remember the thing with sucking your thumb the whole week? A long pause, and then she says, yes. And then I ask her, what did you feel then? She makes a very, very long pause. At least 15 seconds, a long pause. And then she says one word. Very quietly, she says, Kedusha. I asked, what did you feel there? She says, Kedusha. We told this story to Rabbi Leib Steinman. He said, Ze oiro shel Mashiach. It is beyond any understanding, friends. This is it. We have to exploit this moment. We have to do whatever you can to save souls. Yishlach ezrecha mikodesh umitzion sadeka. Our help will come from the Kedusha of this girl. From our turning to the Kedusha. Come to this place not once a week, every day and every week. Learn Torah. This is our saving. You have such a chance. People are wanting to give you. You have to ask more and more. If you can support this place, you can support us in Eretz Yisrael. This is Mamish Kedusha. There, it happens there. And we all depend on what will happen in Eretz Yisrael. Eretz HaKodesh. We all depend on what will happen there. This is our center of our life. This is what I can tell you. This is what's happening now in very short. I told you some part of my personal life and a part of what's happening in Eretz Yisrael. I tell you, it is, don't waste this unbelievable epoch. We do not know how long it will take. We have many simanim. The Ostrotzver, how do you say Ostrotzver. I don't remember the name exactly, but he's a great tzaddik. He lived 200 years ago. He said, 3 Ostrovtzer, I think, yes. Okay, I need Tzava, I don't know how to say Ostrovtzer. They know, the Haredi. So, he said, 3 times in the whole history of mankind, Birkat HaChama will be in Erev Pesach. Birkat HaChama is once in 28 years. Every 28 years you make Birkat HaChama because then the sun is in the same place where the Rabbi Shalom put it on Wednesday when he created HaMeorot HaGdolim, the sun and the moon. It is in the same place as Birkat HaChama. Only 3 times in the whole history of creation it will come that this Birkat HaChama occurs on Erev Pesach. First time it was on Yetzias Mitzrayim. There was a Yudalet, Yom Revi. The second time was Bizman Mordechai ve'Esther. It was Yudalet Tetvav Tezayin, and then Yudalet was Birkat HaChama. The third time it's in the calendar. It's exact. The third time it will be next year Sabachtet Erev Pesach Nisan Yom Revi. It will be Birkat HaChama, and it will be the last time. And the Ostrovtzer says that right after that the Geula will come. It comes out approximately, together what we said here, 70 years from the beginning of the Second World War. But we don't have time. We don't want to wait until Pesach next year. We want it sooner. Be'ita achishena, we want it soon, mamish. We can do it. It depends on us. The birth is of our souls out of this Olam Hazeh. Of this Olam Hazeh. This is the birth. David HaMelech says in Perek Gimel, Perek Gimel Tehillim, V'ani nasachti malki al Tzion har kodshi. I poured the Kedusha of the Kodesh Baruch Hu on Har Tzion, not Har Tzion, the same Har Tzion here, but Har Tzion, my inner soul, Al Tzion Har Kodshi. Asapra el Chok, I'm talking the words of the Torah, the laws of the Torah. Hashem amar elai, God said to me, Beni ata, my son, ani hayom yelideticha. I gave you birth today. David HaMelech is a grown-up man. What do you mean? He was born already. Ani hayom yelideticha. This is the birth I'm talking about. It's the birth of our souls out of the tumah of Olam Hazeh. In America, it's difficult. I know it's difficult in America. Support the Kedusha. Look into the center. Fight for it. I have the right to tell you, because I fought. I'm still fighting. I'm still fighting every day. It's a fight. Everybody here knows to change the clothes, to change the environment, to change friends, to go to another place, to change the schools of the children. Every such move is you feel you are leaving your life, which is death, and you are dying, but this is life. Alexander Mukdon asked the wise women of, I don't remember the city he conquered, what will do a man, or the Chachmei Atun, I don't remember exactly, what will do a man and live? They said to him, he has to die. Rabbi says, "Mut lifnei shetamut." You want to live. Letzoncha lichyot. Mut lifnei shetamut. This dying, this leaving of television, this giving up of internet, this giving up of, I don't know, beautiful clothes, beautiful parties, the outside, the cars, the richness, the chaloimes, the dreams. I want to make it. I want to hit the jackpot. I want to do this. I want to do this. All this pulls away from the Kedusha. To turn around from the outside into the inside, to the Tzion. This is our saving, no other one. So I want to thank you very, very much. I want to thank you very much. It's only 9:20, I think. And we'll meet again, Be'ezrat Hashem. I'm sorry that it's short. Anybody has any question? Any question? No question, because everything is clear, of course. We all know the truth. No chidushin. Okay, I want to thank you very, very much.
הוא אומר שיש לך עוד 10 דקות אם אפשר.
אין, מה... טוב, it's enough. כן.
Yes, if the Geula is so close, we still have to go to college.
Again?
If the Geula is so close,
Yes.
you still have to go to college.
You're going to college. I tell you. So, sorry, I hope your parents are not here. They won't kill me. But I tell you, you don't have to go to college, but you have to go to yeshiva. This is much more important. I was in university. I know what the college is. College is a part of the ambitions of doing it in this world. Yeshiva is the only way to be the happiest person in the world. We were very rich. I had a villa, I told you, on a rock, looking out on all the Mediterranean. This, I think it was at least 1,200 square meters, this villa. We had three commode. We live now, 3 floors. We live now in an apartment which is 78 square meters. And we grew up, all the children there, and with the grandchildren. And Baruch Hashem, now we have grandchild also. And Baruch Hashem, with everybody playing the same time, basketball, football, soccer, whatever you want, and in the same apartment, and we are the happiest people in the world. We are not rich, Baruch Hashem. I have a car which is Mamesh Kiddush Hashem, because if this car goes, it means there's a wisdom to the world. Otherwise it won't work. and we live with what we have, and we are the happiest people in the world. There, outside, we had everything, we had nothing. We didn't know what is love. As I said, Torah will teach you. Torah is Torat Chaim. It's not Torat Biologia, it's not biology, not archaeology, not history. It is Torah, it is the science of life. How to live. How to live. People think they know how to live. How do you love? How do you really identify the enemies of life, of love? Not in her or in him, but in myself. How do you fight against it? How do you fight against greediness? How do you fight against passion? How do you fight against rating? How do you fight against pride? All these things are only in the Torah. So if you ask, I tell you, I tell everybody, this is it. This is life. If there is any sense to life, it's only for this fight. To win Kedusha. To win Kedusha. Asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav. A man marries a woman, he marries her and he gives her a coin or a ring, and he says, Zarei at mekudeshet li betava zu. You are mekudeshet. In no language in the world there is such a word. If you say in English that a man sanctified a woman, they think you're talking about galach, Catholic galach, which spritz this water on the way. What do you mean you sanctify the woman? But in Lashon HaKodesh, to sanctify a woman means Arayat mekudeshet li. That means you are mine and I'm yours, and this is it. It's the only love in the world. Aniba, yes. It's only love in the world which avoids any other love. A man, a father can love all his sons. A mother can love all his sons. But a woman and a man, it's one love. This is exactly the love of the Kodesh Baruch Hu with us. Oilem hazeh ze anoef. This is the adultery. This is oilem hazeh. Tliot mekudash, we are mitkachim not with the ring. Asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav. A man and a woman, when they marry, they give birth to a child. When we are mekudashim laKodesh Baruch Hu, we give birth to our souls. They are being born anew every day. This is what's worthwhile living for. This being born with the Kodesh Baruch Hu together, this is it. Okay, I'm afraid of the driver. He said to me, Ya Habibi. And I thank you very, very much. And Be'ezrat Hashem, do whatever you can for Chazaq, for Lev Le'achim. And please, I want to ask you a favor. Don't leave, please. And please, don't ask me private broches when I walk out, because I don't have the time. And I give a broche to each one of you. I give a broche not because I'm a man at war, but I give a broche because I finished now a mitzvah of talking about Torah and mitzvahs. So in the power of this mitzvah, אני מברך כל אחד ואחד לושן הקודש. I cannot say it in English. Broche in English is a paradox. I give a broche in לושן הקודש. כל אחד ואחד, בורא משמע את כל התפילות של כל אחד ואחת בציבור הקדוש הזה, וייתן לכל אחד ואחת כל משעות בכם לטובה מעתה ועד עולם. אמן. Thank you.